So on the Team 1 Boom team, we're going to have banned Coco, Deadlift, and Ray, picking Penny, Clunk, and Dizzy. And on the other team, banned is going to be Froggy, Rocket, and Ix, and picking Scree, Swiggins, and Voltar. Lost my words there for a second. But overall, I think it's an interesting pick. Sorona itself has been popping up a little bit more in this tournament than most, I feel. But at the same time, it does make for sometimes more interesting matches. They usually tend to last a little bit longer, so we might see more interesting plays. At the same time, it's going to be the first time we see Voltar in this tournament. What do you think about that?
I mean, Voltar is the breadstick of death, as Devin likes to call him. He's just a wall of damage, and if Voltar works, he can be so decisive. Healbot goes off in a fight, you just kind of get such a HP swing that you just win all the time. It's kind of like a heal blessing on Genji, but obviously it's got a lot more healing. Doesn't quite have the shield though, and then at the same time you have just so much damage coming out of Voltar. And when you're dealing with squishy characters like Penny and Dizzy, that could be very, very decisive. You've also got options to go for, say, knockback healbot on that to keep the clunk away, which could potentially have some interesting interactions. There's also the potential for the Scree to get knocked back as well, so we'll see if that ends up happening. But I think these comps, I don't think it's going to be as one-sided as last game. Boom, they're able to get kills this time. They've got Snarebite there, and they actually have a Dizzy themselves this time, which is going to be great for picking off the Voltar and the Scree. But then again, seriously, they have Swiggins to answer the Dizzy, so it's not quite as a free matchup for the Dizzy as it was last game.
Yeah, no, that was kind of one of the issues. I was kind of lurking myself in chat, kind of checking out the casting right there. And yeah, it was difficult to answer that Dizzy, I agree. And just she was getting in there and out for free. Not going to be the case, hopefully, with this Swiggins. So hopefully we're going to be seeing a bit more of an interesting match. Not as one-sided as you were saying, so...
Yep, well, I think we're just about ready to go into the game itself. Are you at 24 seconds?
Yes, I am. Let's go and get started.
Okay.
Guys, maybe you should talk about the draft real quick. We're having some issues with Steam connecting to my game. It should be very shortly, so just keep talking, yeah.
Well, keep talking about the game because of technical difficulties. That's what we are born to do, so...
That is, yeah. It is going to be really decisive when it comes to Clunk's Explode more than anything else, because I don't think he's going to be necessarily an initiator in a lot of situations. He might be actually the follow-up damage just because he's slow, and especially because, there are answers to him. I mean, Swiggins himself is kind of an answer to him. On Sorona being such a wide map, and Clunk's mobility not being the greatest, even with boots, really. If you're not by a jump pad as Clunk, a lot of the times you're just kind of hoping that you can just tank damage more than anything else, which a lot of times he can. But with Swiggins right there and being able to restrict
can you hear me?
further. Yes.
All right, we're good. I'm at the 26-minute mark. Or a second. 26 seconds.
What? 26 seconds.
26 second mark. All right, but yeah, just quick
now at 26 seconds.
All right, we should be 26 seconds. There we go. So yeah, I'm good to go.
Okay, shall I give us a countdown?
Yep, let's go on.
Okay, we will go in 3, 2, 1, go. And on the red team, Team Boom this time, we have Paolo playing a Clunk. We have Dizzy being played by Blah, and we have Jas123C playing the Penny. On the blue side, we have 9volt playing the Voltar. We have Swiggins being played by Zuji, and we have Mr. Manager playing your Scree, and the teams head to the middle of the map.
All right, yeah. A lot of interesting upgrades, I think, coming out so far. A lot of functionality kind of stuff, especially on Dizzy. I do see a lot of this upgraded graffiti artist, which is kind of similar to Mutant Ninja Worms on Froggy, where after she dashes or lands and explode on a target, her next auto attack does 63% more damage, and that is really, really good for brawling. And there's also going to be a quick team fight happening. Not too much. Clunk and Mix explode, and already going to be healed up back to full, so not too much happening yet. Beyond that, Range Penny going to be already in the match. That's going to be helping out with pushing and just kind of general poke. It's going to be really important because Scree does have a lot of harassment there. Dizzy can also harass pretty much a lot. Ooh, and there's going to be a drop explode from Clunk. Pretty confident right there, and not going to be really worth it. It's going to be an entirely wasted explode and just going to be going down there, unfortunately. Zuji also going to be going down, actually, from follow-up from Blah right there, the Dizzy. Like I said, getting a lot of damage off with that auto attack upgrade, so that's where it kind of comes into play once burned abilities and just free damage for Dizzy at that point.
Yeah, I mean, confidence is key, but I think Paolo had the wrong lock there, as he just tried to get a kill there, but I'll definitely mean punished. Jas getting a bit too careless there and ends up going down to the Scree and the Voltar's DPS. And now Pala looking for the Explode is not going to land it. Voltar only just getting away by the skin of his teeth. Now, when you have that control, you can just farm the worm, get some health or go back, in this case, go back. If you a spectator wondering how these team fights are going to play out, the key things to look for, in my view, are going to be the Clunk, the Explode on cooldown, obviously. If the Explode is available, the Clunk is a huge threat, and he's just going to be able to punish the Swiggins going in, the Voltar being out of position, and is just really easily able to catch he's basically able to catch all three of them with that Snare Bite. And on the blue side, you're going to be wanting to look for the positioning of the Scree and the Voltar. If they can survive the team fight and be in a position to apply their DPS, it's going to be terrifying how many numbers they're going to be able to put out. And there's the Scree getting a bit overextended there, but is not going to go down. All abilities on red side now used. Blue side trying to find something, but not quite able, so they're just going to heal up with the heal bot and take control of the middle of the map as the red team backs off.
Yeah, I think another thing that's going to be interesting to watch out for is going to be the Swiggins. I mean, we're basically just saying watch out for the entire blue team, but it is a little bit true. I mean, they each have their own benefits and kind of fallouts that are worth looking out for. Like I said, Zuji on the Swiggins are going to be really key, catching out the more mobile ones like Penny and Dizzy especially. On top of, if they can catch Clunk right there after bringing an Explode, at that point, like I said, Clunk's more of a sitting duck than anything else at that point, just kind of hoping that his team can come and save him, or just hoping to actually tank all the damage he can and survive through that.
Yep, I think the red team probably not too happy with how this game's going so far, but they are having a big team fight there. In comes the Explode, it's not going to whiff. They're going to, two people are so low, the Screen, the Voltar, but they weren't able to get the kill. But the red team, they do have the map pressure from this, but with the heal bot, the blue side are just able to reset. When you're playing against the Voltar, it's very, very important you actually get the kills. Because if you leave people at low HP, they can become full HP quite quickly.
Yeah,
from the Dizzy there.
In my kind of experience, it usually is a lot. You either need to secure kills within, the span of a few seconds, kill the heal bot, or just have constant pressure on the other team. Because, like I said, even without the heal bot, even Voltar's auto attack healing, if you don't get a good team fight right there, you don't finish off any of the kills, it's going to come back.
Like the red team are going to try and find something there. There's the sword, the Snare Bite going out, but it's not going to result in a major fight. Now the Swiggins looking to find that worm. Being zoned up by the Clunk. The Bite's going to miss, and now Clunk's in a bad spot. He does have the Explode to turn around. There's the Explode. It's going to hit the screen, but not enough to get a kill. And that Dizzy goes in. There's the bomb. It's not going to get a kill either. Healbot's going to heal up the screen of Voltar, and now the blue side are definitely in a dominant position. They have the health. They have the droids pushed up now, and they're going to be looking to take some push. And with no Clunk to ward off the blue side, there's going to be some serious tower damage here.
I want to point out an upgrade that was actually picked up by Scree, which is going to be the Pills for the Mind, which is actually slow on his auto attack, and I think that's going to be pretty key as well. We're already talking about Clunk's kind of lack of mobility on this map, so the moment he's alone and he's slowed by Scree, it's going to be pretty hard for him to get out of that situation. But it does also help quite a bit with Dizzy and Penny, those kinds of more mobile ones, to maybe keep them in a kind of an area that they want to be in, to maybe even chain more slow lightning onto the rest of them, and just be able to kind of secure their DPS on them and, hopefully get a kill, which is, the point of the game right now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been saying, the blue team are in the better position. I mean, they are in a better position, but it's not anywhere near as strong as the position they had in the last game. The red side is still able to get kills. They're still a threat in the team fight, and the blue side just don't quite have that free reign on the map as they did in the last game. So, definitely don't count on the red team here. They are still in it to win it.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, when it comes to damage output, they definitely have a lot more burst. I mean, the Explode clone alone from Dizzy can do quite a bit and has a relatively short cooldown, so that can be a lot of harassment on top of burst on team fights. And obviously the Clunk, he's just a massive damage dealer when he can land his stuff, so that's something to look out for as well. It's going to be a little bit of an engagement here, not too much. Clunk will be looking for the Snare Bite, followed the Explode. So everyone on the blue team is actually going to be pretty low. Healbot coming off. Not going to be actually going to finish off that Healbot. They took it down before it actually got off. So it is going to be picking off the Voltar there. Swiggins and Scree also going to be retreating a little bit low. Red team hopefully going to be staying in. Dizzy's going to go back, so the only one left on the map is Clunk and Penny. But that was actually kind of exactly what you want to happen in a team fight. If there's going to be any kind of team fight, you at least want to get one of the people from the Voltar team down. Ideally, it would be the Voltar. Oh, there's potentially almost going to be another kill right there. Scree going to be getting out with just barely gaining HP. Another auto attack from Clunk would have sealed the deal right there. Yeah, like I said, just a quick wrap up. You want to take out the Voltar ideally so that you can be a little bit more free reign, and the rest of the team is a little bit on their heels in that situation, and that's exactly what they did.
It's interesting to see the Clunk going for bite damage as opposed to explode damage. I'm not really sure what the motivation is there. I guess the bite damage also gives you a bit more sustain, and the Clunk is needing the health in these fights because once he uses that, he's going for the explode there. He does manage to land it on the scree. As well as the bite, but heal bot is just going to bring him straight back up. So
yeah, I do think he did pick up quick explode. So my thought process would that be just getting explode damage right there, because that's usually what people get. Especially if you're building quick explode, you just kind of want to make sure that you're landing explode, and if you're going to be landing explode, make sure you're doing a good amount of damage. But you know, maybe he's going with the mentality that he's going to be knocked back anyway, because Scree did pick up knockback on Totem, so maybe he's just making sure at least I want to get enough damage, or at least a little bit more sustain. Interesting choice in my opinion. I would have prioritized damage, but you know, it is what it is.
Yep, definitely. I mean, it can still work, especially if the Clunk goes for multi-hose. That can be such a HP swing in his favour. The bite is going to land on the Voltar, but there's the knockback Totem keeping the Clunk away, and Swiggins is going into the hook onto the Clunk. Wow, that was picked off by the Saw.
That was so unfortunate. What happened there actually is Penny pulsed the hook, which actually destroyed it, and Clunk was also going for the hook, but the bite was delayed a little bit, so he didn't actually get any health from it. It probably would have saved him if he just bit the anchor there and actually freed himself, but unfortunately not going to be the case in this. So there's going to be a lot of push happening on bottom turret. Only Penny left alone to be defending there, unfortunately. 9-volt, the Volts are going to be going... No, not going to be quite down. Healbot going to come off, missing his own Healbot. Interesting choice. And there's going to be a double right there. They stood out a little bit over too long, overextending, and just going to be caught out right there. So it's going to be left to Voltar alone. Quite a swing of things right there. They had a lot of push.
Not the best at defending either. He's just lost his Healbot now. But,
yeah, I mean, especially after that. Yeah, so I mean, he's going to be at least something. Penny's going to be forced to go back because he's low health, and you know, a lot of push coming off on both turrets right now. Actually, with that double, Clunk's free to use his explode on turrets to get a little bit more damage in just before the next engagement.
Yeah, I mean that evened up the game a lot more than it kind of should have. Really, the blue side had such an advantage, and then they kind of just threw it away. Really.
Yeah, they did.
It's now kind of back to what it was in the first few minutes of the game, as opposed to the last 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see that, because I mean, at this point, turrets are being damaged. None of them going down. Not really in any immediate threat of going down, except for the bottom red turret.
Taking a lot of damage. It's going to go down. The explode has been whiffed though, and it's now 2 versus 3. Blue side definitely have the advantage, and they're looking to get some poke. That Voltar has so much burst there. That was just 2 drones doing all that damage. He has also picked up the chili flavored eye drops, which is that burst damage every 3 seconds when you don't use your AA.
Yeah, as well
also
as
got 1 stage of AA damage. So.
Right. Yeah, so it's kind of surprising for, you know, a support character, or like one of the more dedicated healers in the game. Voltar can just do a ton of damage if you let him, honestly. And in these kind of situations, it's kind of difficult to not let him, to be frank. So it's kind of interesting to see how he builds it from there.
2 people on the red side now teleporting back, giving the blue side the map control. They do have Dizzy there to defend, and Dizzy is surprisingly good at defending because she can just kind of clear the droid wave before it even gets to the tower.
Yeah, again, kind of like breaking their own roles sort of time. For Harasser, Dizzy has a lot of droid clear, but there's going to be a little bit of engagement there. Dizzy going to be chained right there, but the Swiggin's not going to be able to follow it up on either side though. Clunk actually going to be pretty low health, whiffed his bite, and looking really low, missed the jump pad. Is he going to be able to get out? Swiggin's maybe looking for that. He is going to be actually getting out barely with any HP. That was actually really, really close.
Yeah.
Looks like he like whiffed the jump pad a couple times, but you know, didn't get punished for it, thankfully. So he's going to go back to you.
We are now seeing knockback on the heal bot as well, which again, this Clunk is not having a great time.
No, he is not.
I can see why he's building into bite and quick explode, because this is horrible to deal with.
Yeah, it really is. It's tough for a Clunk. A lot of these kind of like bigger tank characters against this kind of comp is just going to be difficult no matter who you are, and well, you know, that's kind of why he's kind of trying to adapt as best as he can. Even right there, a single whiff bite, and he's already like at a quarter health, and he really didn't do a whole lot of that team fight to begin with. This Clunk is having a rough time right now. I do want to point out that he did pick up, what is that called? Improved homing sensor. So basically, homing on his auto attack to maybe make it a little bit easier to engage in team fights and those kinds of things. So potentially can build a little bit into AA, maybe get a AoE to maybe deal with the heal bot, or just if they're grouped up close, and maybe get a salvo so that he can you know, do a little bit more damage.
Pretty hard there, but the Paolo's going to come and try and save him. But now Paolo's in trouble. That totem, they're blocking his mouse.
Yeah, oh!
And Scree styling on the red team right there.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Oh, Healbot's gonna go down, actually. Unfortunate placement right there after the Dizzy clone. But still, blue team looking relatively okay for, you know, even losing that Healbot. It's just going to be a little bit of push right there. Clunk going to be coming back, just launched, so it's going to be left to Dizzy and Penny alone. Penny did go back, I believe, to potentially buy something, so, you know, leaving one of the turrets unguarded. Maybe not the smartest choice right there, if I have to say so.
Ooh, the bottom turret to pick up the Healbot there. Now Voltar's forced to go back. Clunk's coming in slowly, but that bottom turret, yeah, as you were saying, the bottom turret is now very, very low. It's not quite gone down yet, but...
Yeah. It's really just a breath's away at that point. Even like maybe not even a kill at that point. The jump pad is there, so it's easy getaway. Maybe even Scree just going up toteming, auto attacking a few times, and it'll go down. And that would open up the map just a little bit at the very least, so potentially other plays can happen.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's quite difficult. One thing I've noticed the Voltar doing, whether it's intentional or not, is kind of using the Healbot to bait out abilities. He's used Healbot to bait out Pulse and the Dizzy's committal there quite a few times, and it's been working out, really. Even though they miss out on the Healbot, I mean, is it better to have Penny miss the 600 damage Pulse, or you get hit by the 450 damage heal?
Wow, that was going to be...
down there.
Yeah, there was going to be like a suicide explode right there. They did get the Healbot off him, as well as the knockback up. Penny looks like he's trying to... Oh, it's going to be a lot of bursts right there from Voltar. Penny was trying to secure the kill on Voltar right there, but unfortunately got retaliated upon. And that's going to be then...
A taunt coming out as well from the Voltar. He knows that that was a well-placed drone.
Yeah, that was...
They're going to pressure hard.
Yeah, more than like... Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, you go.
I don't know, I wasn't really going to add too much other than that. That was going to be a 2-for-0 trade in favor of the red team. They are 2 levels ahead right now, the blue team, and that's probably going to be pushing that advantage hard. 9 kills as opposed to 4 on the red team, and a pretty decent chunk of solar advantage for each individual member, roughly 200 to 300 solar ahead of their rivals right now. So, you know, advantage-wise, blue team is looking pretty solid.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not worth counting out the red team there. They, as we just saw there, they managed to get the Voltar on a very, very clean kill. And they're potentially looking for more as well. The Swiggin's anchor got cancelled by the bounce pad there. Swiggin's not in the best spot. Clunk's going to be looking for something. He goes to the bite with Scree instead. And now Swiggin's still in a bad spot. He's managing to land the anchor and he's going to get away. That was one play from the Swiggin's there. Staying calm, finding the bouncer at the right time. And now the red team, again, Penny last hitting the thing before Clunk can bite it.
Unfortunate. But there's going to be a little bit, hopefully, defense going on top. No, that's probably going to be their turret gone. They left it undefended for a little bit too long, and that is going to be 2 of their turrets down. But like you said, red team isn't out there for the count yet. There is a decent chunk of turret damage on the blue side as well. Dizzy barely going to get out of that one, now able to get the anchor drop on them as well. Voltar looking at a pretty rough spot, looking for the teleport. He would have gotten off right there, honestly, but he's looking to get out right there. That was actually a nice play on Voltar right there. Paulo Clunk was actually trying to read it right there to get the bite when he was going off the jump pad, but knocked back instead to cancel it. So we guys looking at a raw spot right there, actually. Amped, and that's going to be actually the Voltar going down instead. Pick off right there. Clunk going to be going down in that trade as well. So it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Swiggin's going to be forced to go back to heal up. So it's going to be Penny and Dizzy defending for the red team right now.
Yeah, Blah's going to be going in here looking for something, but the anchor's going to miss. The Soul Blade did hit him, and now Penny's looking for something there. The Pulse is going to land on the Swiggin's. Swiggin's now looking for the anchor. He's got it on cooldown. It's going to whiff. Just landed the pounce onto the Swiggin's, and now both teams are just kind of back off, I think. It's interesting to see, even though this Clunk has a horrendous matchup, when he's able to land that Bite Explode, it's going to kill some.
Yeah, and I believe he only has 1 stage of explode right now. Explode damage, I should say. Yeah, he did pick up multi-hose as well, which earlier you were saying is going to be pretty significant, and it is. I mean, that's a lot of sustain as well as a lot of damage potential in team fights. If you can snare 2 of the knots, that's, you know, more than likely it's going to be at least 1 kill in that situation.
Yeah, Jess taking a lot of damage from these Swiggin's there. And now there's the Bite Explode again, going to be killing that Voltar.
That was good play.
Like, I feel like the red team, they're getting a better idea for the game plan here. They're letting the Swiggin's and they're letting the Swiggin's kind of use the damage onto the Dizzy and the Penny. Dizzy and Penny are baiting out abilities, and then Clunk's coming in for the follow-up. You know, he's the anvil to the hammer, or the hammer to the anvil rather. Now red team, they're going to be moving up and looking for something off this kill.
Yeah, right. They are going to be putting a little bit of pressure on the bottom turret, hopefully getting some turret damage at that point. The map has opened up a little bit on the red team. But now with the Voltar barely coming in again, they're hopefully maybe going to get bottom, actually. Not quite enough damage on that. Gonna get an explode right there. Not gonna be enough to finish off either the Swiggins or the Voltar. And oh, but there is gonna be a pick off right there. That was a nicely placed clone on Dizzy's part to get the pickup on the Scree. Voltar and Swiggins gonna be low. And Penny gonna be relative. Both of them actually gonna be full health. So if there's gonna be engagement going on at all, they should probably push her right now to avoid the heal bot and the Voltar. Kind of, the Voltar train happening.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, oh, nice pulse cancelling the anchor there on from Jess. And looking in a good position here, Voltar's very low. Dizzy's on the hunt, trying to find something. The bomb's going to be used on the Swiggins instead. It's not going to hit. But the red team... Oh, there's the Clunk explode. Going to land the bite, securing that Swiggins down. Swiggins, like the blue team, they're just extending into this Clunk way too often, it feels like. And, whereas before the kills were 9 to 4, it's now 9 to 11 kills. Which is, a massive comeback. They've recovered such a deficit, really.
Yeah, right. And they did get the bottom turret in the middle of that too. They are pushing top as well. So the map is opening up on both sides, and once it opens up possibilities for different placements and things like that. Potentially at that point, safer drop explodes from Clunk, as well as there's more area for Dizzy and Penny, the more mobile knots here to play around with. So that's going to be interesting to see.
Yep, absolutely. Looking at the Dizzy's build here, we are seeing So she has 4 dashes, she has dash damage, and she's also picked up the upgrade which reduces the cooldown of her clone for every dash she hits. So she's really going for that clone synergy, but I'm not seeing clone damage, which concerns me a bit.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think she's kind of hoping that everyone else will pick up the clone damage, or not the clone damage, just general burst damage, and maybe that she'll be more of a harasser in this case. Interesting choice, I would say. Clone damage is pretty good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with damage. So it's kind of interesting to see that she'll be picking it up relatively late. I mean, we're almost 19 minutes into this game and no clone damage is pretty novel to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Red team may be looking for something here. Clunk's just trying to position himself to find that bite. He is going to use bite on droids, so blue team have a slight window here. They're going to be looking for something. Nope. Seems they're just going to back off. Oh, there's the anchor going in. Onto the Clunk.
Yeah, and Clunk's going to be able to bite and get out of that with the help of a little bit of Dizzy to get out of that. Swiggins did pick up one stage of shield, Royal Toy Castle. That's shield on after he drops a Humboldt. So I'm sure that's going to be helping a lot of engagements so that he can just drop Humboldt. It's not going to help him enough right there. Unfortunately, he's going to be picked off by the Clunk. Scree also going to be really low. Dizzy going to be taken out actually by the Voltar there too. Voltar actually taken out, out of position. I say a potential wipe here actually. I didn't even notice. Scree was taken out by the Penny too. I was focused a little bit on the Voltar. And Voltar just going to be making it out. And almost going to be the turret gone. They're looking for a little bit of chip damage. They just need a little bit more on that. But, relatively low health and a Voltar there. Voltar is still a formidable opponent in this kind of situation. So,
this could be bad for Voltar. Kind of out of position here.
A little bit.
Red side are going to think better of that.
Yeah.
I mean, they backed off from killing a tower, but to be honest, with the HP that tower's at, but it's going to go down eventually. So
yeah.
I wouldn't be too worried if I were the red team right now.
Yeah, it's going to go down, like you said, at some point. Even just like leaving it open for a little bit, they're probably not going to be defending it like extremely hard to make sure that it's intact. There's going to be the Penny going. That
got destroyed.
That was just brutal. Really, being knocked back, stunned, and then chained, and then anchored, and it was just a mess. Really, we don't. Man, dude.
Yeah, that was Jess went for the pulse, and then with the self-stun that the pulse applies, then got knocked back stunned into the Swiggins stun. That was horrendous.
Just immediate, and they are going to be taking advantage of it, pushing their back turret. And usually it is a little bit more difficult to push those back turrets because
from behind. The pulse is going to whip though. Why did he use pulse there? He secured everything.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, I've been picking up some Penny recently, and there's been a lot of talk about a lot of times you should just pounce first. A lot of times that is going to be a Penny going down right there. Unfortunately, the last drill isn't going to be enough damage to pick that up from there. So it's going to be something there. I also did want to point out that Swiggins did pick up movement speed on his auto attack when he doesn't have Humboldt, so Krill Biscuits. And that's going to be Voltar going down there too, so it's kind of a little bit more trades going on right now, and some important trades too. Like Voltar going down does mean that their sustain is going down significantly, so they're not going to be pushing as hard, or at least for as long. So that's kind of an interesting pick-off.
I mean, it's definitely worth noting that the red team are now because the map's opened up so much. When a team fight kind of ends with one person going down on red team, they can definitely still chase and look for those other kills. I mean, it's not quite the same with blue team because they only really get the follow-up kills if the player on the red side is still kind of overextended. So like Dizzy's usual dashes, and then she gets hit by a Swiggin's anchor. But you know, the red team, they can just keep on chasing these kills. Dizzy can chase people all across the map and be a constant threat. So it's something that the blue team, they kind of need to stick together after they get a kill. Otherwise, they're in a dangerous position.
And now that I think about it, that might be the mentality behind Dizzy's build in going like for multiple dashes and dash damage is just the ability to chase. So that might be what's going on there. You know, we'll see what happens with that.
Although if that was the case, you'd probably be seeing the dash regen when there aren't enemies nearby. That item is extremely potent, and it's surprising to not see Blah not pick up there. We will see. Voltar now picking up all of his utilities. He's got pills, he's got barrier mag, and he's got regen.
Yeah, all in one fell swoop. Yeah, all in one fell swoop too, so it's going to be like a lot more sustain on his own part right there. There's going to be maybe an engagement going right here. A little bit late on the pulse to not pick up the heal kill right there, unfortunately. So it looks like red team
is in a bad spot now. All three members of the blue side, they're circling, looking for that
He missed
kill.
the bite as well. Swing's going to be looking for something right there. He is not going to get the anchor drop on that. Paolo is going to be getting a little help from the drop right there. Healbot killed immediately, so there's going to be no heal for the blue team or mine to worry about for the red team. So all in all, no trades. It was looking pretty rough on both sides there for a second. But all in all,
some good play from the red side there, escorting Paolo out of there, and making sure they shielded everything from the anchor hitting him, or the tether hitting him rather, to everything else there. There's some good teamwork from both sides happening right now.
No, yeah, absolutely. We are kind of stepping into late game at this point. You do see a lot of utilities coming out like pills. We mentioned Voltar getting like basically all the sustain upgrades potential. Swiggin's right there looking a little bit rough, but going to be knocked away. The Penny's going to be knocked away to save him.
Not quite going to find it.
Looking for
Voltar.
that was almost an explode through the ground on Volta right there. That would have been kind of interesting kind of pick off right there. But not going to be seeing it there, unfortunately. But they are going to be getting some push on the back turret right there. Paul going to be backing off a little bit to heal up, and just looking to maybe position themselves to maybe get another team fight, and see if they can pick off any advantage from there.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a big item on the Swiggins now. We've got Amplify and Anchor, which is definitely going to help take out the Clunk. If the Clunk gets caught out and he's not able to fight down the Anchor, then he's probably going to die, because that extra Amplify on the Clunk is just devastating. I mean, it helps on the other Norts as well, but especially on the Clunk. The blue team, their damage is slightly falling off now, so having that extra 15% is really, really going to help them scale into the late game.
No, yeah, it definitely does help out. And now that Swiggins is picking up health on his anchor as well, it's going to mean that they're going to be tethered for at least a little bit longer, or put a little bit more effort towards killing it. And that just means that they're going to be able to take a little bit more damage while chained there as well. So I was going to see what happens there. It looks like they're kind of sizing each other up right now. Not too much happening. Maybe a little bit of harass from Scree and the auto attacks going here and there. But nothing too much. They're just kind of more on the blue side of the map. Kill at this point from the blue side is probably going to mean push on their turret as well. But for now, just kind of seeing what's happening. Swiggins up top alone, getting some explode right there. Missed, unfortunately. Swiggins is going to run away with that auto attack upgrade. And right there, Clunk getting another buy right there. Voltar getting a heal butt off. Swiggins still cut off way out of place, and actually going to be finally going down right there to auto attack from Clunk. So that's going to be 1-for-0 trade in that point. That was just kind of like Swiggins' interesting placement. I felt like he could have run different directions, but he kind of just kept running away onto the other side of the map. And
I mean, yeah, it was pretty rough. He did have a Clunk kind of there the entire time threatening with that fight, so yeah, it's difficult to get away from that. We've got cooldown being picked up on the heal bot now. Just going to allow him to knock back more often. Now, actually, Voltar not in the best spot here. Oh, he does manage to position himself in such a way he can't get pounced out. And now these Scurry is on the hunt looking for something. But it looks like all three members of red side, they're a bit low, and it looks like the control of the map they've had for kind of the last 3 or 4 minutes or so is going to disappear. Blue side going to take a bit of map control back.
A little bit right there. Everyone backing off a little bit, buying some upgrades. Clunk did pick up 2 stages of a hard hat, so that means that he's not going to be damaging himself with any explode damage, and also picking up some auto attack damage. So Clunk is looking like quite the powerhouse right now. He can go in a little bit safer as well as do a little bit more damage in general. Right there. Ooh, that was a nice one.
And there's the as well. This is such a swing.
Yeah, this is going to be quite a swing right there. Nothing on the screen, unfortunately, but there's going to be a lot of potential here. That double kill, especially this late in the game with longer respawns, does mean a lot more map control for red team and potentially a lot of push as well. Unfortunately,
yeah, it's a Scree alive. I'm sure you were about to mention, which makes it quite difficult for the red side to push.
Yeah, that on top of that, their own droids are, about on 10,000 miles away from their own location is making it difficult to push that last turret a little bit. But they still managed to get maybe roughly a third of the health off of it. Significant at this point in the game, I would say. So there's going to be backing off. Healing up, potentially getting an upgrade. Penny just picking up some damage on her auto attack. And that's going to be it for now. Just kind of going back to a little bit of a stalemate.
Yep, well, we're seeing Clunk is maxed out. I think the Voltar is maxed out now. The Swiggin's maxed out. I think the Swiggin's has one more anchor upgrade to get, so probably going to be stun or cooldown. Scree can get sword damage. Wait, no, Scree's maxed out?
Scree has some. Scree's not maxed out.
One more utility, right?
Yeah. And, ooh, gonna be a whiffed explode right there. Gonna be wasting output. Probably gonna be backing off for now because they know that the explode is gone, so they might be able to push that advantage. Healbot gonna be going off right there. Ooh, Anchor not gonna hit Clunk right there actually. And instead just gonna be going off. Pretty much two people. Ooh, right there. Penny. Ooh, that was ballsy. I gotta say. She did get out of that. Wasn't punished enough for that, or at least not going down to that situation there. So.
One pretty major disadvantage of the Voltar's build right here is he doesn't have health on the healbot, so we just saw the healbot die to one Clunk AA instantly, which it just feels bad. As a Voltar player myself, I just pretty much always go healbot health just because of how much of a potential swing in the fight the healbot going off can be.
Yeah, I gotta say, as someone who doesn't play Voltar and plays against him pretty often, it's pretty satisfying to see healbots go down in one hit like that. So, bit more of a stalemate here going on. It's going to just be the blue team a little bit on their heels, maybe getting a little bit of push here from the red. Swiggins maybe come from behind, maybe hoping for something once their droids are gone. A little late on that. Maybe Clunk here, actually. He's looking for that right there. Gonna go for the Suicide Explode. Almost picking off the screen, but not quite enough damage right there, unfortunately. So it's gonna be a 1-for-0 trade in favor of the blue team. And yeah, right there, again, another Healbot down. But like I said, Voltar does still have a lot of healing in their own right. I think, now that I look at it, I think Scree also has Lifesteal on his Saw Blade.
Yes, he does.
He does, actually, so, a lot more sustain. Already the Voltar, I believe he has regen. No, he does not have regen. But still, just a lot of sustain coming out from that Scree right now.
I mean, this game is on a knife edge right now. If one team makes a mistake, that's it. It's game over.
Yeah, really. Really, even a double kill at this point could spell it out. A single kill, a lot of turret damage, but not the game necessarily. Double kill, really, at this point. Almost 30 minutes in. For a 30-minute game, they're surprisingly low level, in my opinion. Usually, games that last long, they're usually at like 18, 19, maybe even 20 at this point. Interesting for me to see that. But, that just means that there's a little bit more progress to be had. Right there, Dizzy is going to be going down to Voltar, so it's going to be a more situation where Red Team is on their heels too. Paolo right there. Ooh, that's going to be a pick-off on Scree right there. Clunk looking to maybe get out of there. Potentially, I don't think he's going to die to that. No, he's fine. And Swin's going to be losing his Humboldt right there to the turret. But, Voltage right there, they might be able to just tank that immediately. Can't tell the health on the turret because it doesn't update immediately, but it is going to be very, very
going to find something here. The pulse is going to whiff. He's going to get out. It looks like, nothing lands on him. Managing to dodge his way out of all those abilities. If he got stuck there, then that would have been bad.
That would have been bad. Both abilities burned, and then 2 knots right there on top of you, especially Volta right there with DPS and a lot of burst damage coming out. Volta right here entirely alone, caught out. It's going to be interesting attempts at jukes and actually going to work out for him. A lot of damage on that Penny as well. Seeing if they can pick up anything.
Tethered. Maybe getting a bit stuck here. Not going to end up dying.
Yeah, not enough damage right there.
Not going to find it. And now Swiggins is in a bit of trouble, but Scree is going to go down. And this is where the red team can really start to push up. They've just got to kill. It's the Scree that's gone down, especially. They're looking for something extremely aggressive. Jast being tethered, low HP, is going to go down to the anchor from Zuji.
Yeah. He did pick up spoons, pneumatic spoons, pretty early in the game, so there is anchor break damage on that. So just a lot of free damage coming off of Humboldt right there, especially with that amp upgrade. That does stack with break damage coming off of anchor. Finally, the last upgrade on Swiggin's hook, by the way, is coming out, and it's going to be cooldown. That's actually one of my favorites, especially since AoE stun doesn't affect everyone in the AoE, just the actual person you hook. I think usually cooldown is a little bit more effective than stun, in my opinion. So that's going to be... right here, Voltar going to be kind of left out alone. Yeah, unfortunately right there, no more escape right there. He burned his heal bar right there. Didn't even get the heal himself, so he really didn't have any choice for knockbacks or any more escapes. Right there, like I said, this is still on the knife's edge. We were talking about how maybe like 1 or 2 kills would be swinging it for them, and basically his Voltar went down, and now they're back to it at a single bar. Almost going to be down, almost certainly going to be going down right here in this next little push.
Yeah, this is not going to be fun for the blue side here. Red side now pushing up. Base exposure has happened. It's only taken 32.5 minutes, but it's finally happened.
Sorona.
Yeah, Sorona, one of the faster games, I believe.
Yeah, I think this is actually world record pace at this point, if I'm being...
definitely.
Can we double check that in the studio? Anyway.
Sign us up for GDQ.
Yeah, right.
What time are you at, by the way? I think I just accidentally pressed the button.
32:40. Do you want to pause?
Yes, pause, please.
Okay, I'm at 32:51.
Okay, I will pause. We're at 32:54, guys.
32:54. Okay.
Okay.
Is everybody there?
Yep, I'm there.
I am there.
That is my bad entirely. I apologize.
4, 3, 2,
on go.
1.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
All right, we're good to go. I do want to point out, too, that Red Team does have a pretty distinct level advantage at this point. We talked a little bit earlier how, for this late in the game, it's relatively low level. They have a 2-level advantage now, 19 to 17. So at that point, I believe that's like 10% more damage and another like 8% health or something along those lines. Something significant, especially this late in the game, for something once you get sizable health bars. And now that the base is exposed and they're running up against it, really, they're going to be getting a little bit of damage right there. And you know, they do have that advantage.
That could potentially lead to something. Now, Bite's on cooldown again now. Scream looking to pressure with that AA, but it's not going to result in anything. I've only just noticed the red team are now finally ahead on kills, I think for the first time in this entire game, so...
Yeah, actually, they did finally manage to pull it back. Now that they've actually gotten a lot of kill potential, a lot of their necessary upgrades like damage and some of their CC stuff going in, and being able to actually confirm all of those kills that they were looking to get earlier in the game.
But yeah, the blue side now, they're walking forwards. They know they can pressure here a little bit. The red side had all backed off.
Dizzy was kind of left alone. But just going to be getting out of there and just sizing each other back up in the middle of the map. That's going to be
Scream's going to go down.
Clunk's going to be maybe in a rough spot right here. Amped Anchor. Going to be looking at maybe a quarter health left on Clunk, but he's looking alright right now, it seems. Going to get that nice double bite off of that. Zuji up there, the Clunk, or not the Clunk, the Swiggin's up there looking pretty rough. Maybe a pounce right here. This is going to be a pulse to finish it off. And right here, there might be game, maybe not necessarily. Scream might have a chance to come back, but it's...
This is game, truly.
Yeah.
And then yet again, just stealing the bite from Clunk.
Yeah, right? Teamwork all the through and through. Yeah, Clunk and right there, the lowest team's members are going to be Clunk and Dizzy, but Penny going to be doing her job to kind of keep that away. Clunk kind of going all in on that. Going to be going down, unfortunately, right there. So there's only like 2 1/3 bars left on that blue base.
This could be bad for red team.
This could actually be pretty bad, yeah. Don't count blue team.
Really carefully here.
Yeah, only 2 bars, so, you know, it's almost nothing. Like, even 1 kill, or maybe, like, even just them backing off in the first place would be enough.
Yeah, Jas is going to go for it here. He's going to pressure, because if Jas pressures, then serious decision is they can't actually push. They have to fall back and stop. I mean, the anchor's going to land there.
Ooh, that was a nice cancellation. That was a nice cancellation of the teleport. I don't know if you were watching Voltar. Jas did finally go down, but Voltar, actually, both Scree and Voltar were teleporting, and Dizzy managed to cancel only the Voltar, so Voltar was actually left that alone.
But the Dizzy can just walk through there, and if the Dizzy fails, then the Clunk can just walk in with an explode.
Yeah.
This game's over.
Yeah. There you go. Alright, that was pretty good.
Well, 35.5 minutes. I think that's a pretty fast game. And it's going to go in favor of Boom. I think ultimately, just the flexibility the Team Fight had, they were able to just find kills, eventually chase people down the map, and once that map opened up, that kind of playstyle really favored them. In the early game, they were struggling a bit because the Scree, the Voltar, that Swiggin's kind of zoning potential was really, really threatening. And the Clunk, if the Clunk used one ability and missed, he was dead. Whereas in the late game, he had pills, he had, the hard hat, he had all the sustain from that, and that multi-host bite to just keep him effective in the lane. So
yeah, he only had
really have the easy kill.
Yeah, he did still have another stage of pills to go, even if the game didn't end there. So it was only just going to be more tank from there. Really? I just saw the build. That was my mistake. I misread.
Guys. Well, thanks for casting that, by the way. We're going to go straight into the next match after a 2-minute break.